to talk. Oh man, you know, we have never had a president-elect make boss moves like Trump has been making. It's just been a beautiful, amazing thing. And look what's happened, right? About a week and a half ago, Mexico and Canada both cave and surrender to Trump. The Mexican president shuts down at least three caravans of illegals marching towards our southern border, and I haven't seen any stories of new caravans coming our way. Have you? Then Trudeau flies to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ring and beg him not to. And then at Notre Dame yesterday, Trudeau and the European leaders surrendered France and all of Europe to Trump, just as fast as Trudeau and Mexico surrendered. And when you look at the Notre Dame ceremony, did you guys watch it? Look where Trump was sitting, right next to Macron. In fact, between Macron and his wife. It was Macron, Trump, and then Macron's wife. I mean, they had Trump, Macron had Trump sitting in the biggest seat of honor in the entire place. Leaders of all the royal, of all the royal families of Europe were there. Prime ministers and presidents were there. And they gave President Trump the most honored spot in the entire audience. That's not an accident. And it happened for a number of reasons, but the immediate reason is that those tariffs, the import taxes that the liberals are whining about all the time, has gotten the world to cave. Because they need us more than we need them. We can live without, we can get sparkling wine from California. We don't need their champagne. We don't need their cheeses. We get some American cheeses. They're in France, and the world's the same. So North America has, the other North American countries have surrendered to President Trump. Europe has just surrendered to Trump. There's never been a global takeover as fast as Trump's. It's absolutely amazing. So that's it. I mean, he's president of the world, man. POTUS of the world, president of the United States and the world. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And then look what Trump did with Syria, right? He comes out and says, we're not going to get involved. That's not our fight. Yeah, that's right. Syria is not our fight. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. It is a chilly morning here in sunny South Florida. It is 56 degrees, which is pretty cold for us in Florida. And I'm at another Starbucks than the one I would normally go to. I've been rotating Starbucks on my weekend live streams. And they gave me I get a venti hot blonde Americano with extra cream, and for some reason they steamed the cream for me today, which is interesting. Or is it milk? I don't know if it's cream or milk, but they steamed it. Well, when you look at what's going on in Syria, you look what's going on in Ukraine, you got to wonder. I mean, this is what you got to ask yourself. These wars around the world that are always going on, how many of them are because of our military-industrial complex in this country? Because we're funding them all, we're paying for them all, we're supplying them all in some way, shape, or form. So what is, yeah, most all of these wars, our military-industrial complex is behind them in one way, shape, form, or another. I mean, like Syria, these countries have been fighting endlessly forever and ever and ever. Why is this our fight? We've got problems here. We've got a lot of problems here, not just poverty and issues, but our country's under attack, and our country's falling apart. I was talking the other day, my wife and I, we went down to Miami Beach. We take I-95. I-95 is an embarrassment. The road's falling apart. Miami is one of the great American cities, and the road to Miami is falling apart. I mean, it's really run down. Do you think the roads in Ukraine are falling apart? Do you think the roads in Ukraine are an embarrassment? No. They have beautiful roads over there. And I guess when it comes to deals in the United States, people like Biden can't steal their 10% as easy as they can if they're doing it overseas for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what, why can't they do the corruption here so we can have nice roads and beautiful airports and everything else like they have around the world? It's money laundering, money theft, just like, the Kamala Harris campaign with the $1.5 billion in a couple of months, right? That's how the Democrats run the government. That's how they run everything. That's it. I mean, it's all a big graft. Absolutely. Since they steam this milk and everything, usually they ask me all the time, do you want your milk steamed? No. But they did it, so it's kind of hot. Oh my goodness. It's too hot to drink. It's like McDonald's coffee in the 70s and 80s. Remember that? Oh my gosh. It was it was well above boiling, the McDonald's coffee in the 70s and 80s. Then a woman got burned and sued. Remember that? Well, David, I'll tell you. David says you need to buy a home cappuccino espresso maker. Stop giving money to people who hate MAGA Americans. What company doesn't hate MAGA Americans? I mean, here you are watching me on YouTube on a phone or computer probably made in China, or at least in part, and you're watching me on YouTube, which is Google, which, is left wing. I mean, if that's your standard, start living it yourself before you try to apply it to other people. I've tried the espresso machines at home. It's just not the same. I got a Nespresso, not good, too expensive. Exactly. I mean, my goodness. What are you, self-sustaining, got your own farm and everything, livestock and vegetables and everything else? You grow everything, you don't leave your house? I wish we could, I don't like the steamed milk at all. Doesn't that spoil the milk? I don't know. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, Trump was the boss yesterday. By the way, I'll have a new podcast later today with my wife, Kathy, so keep an eye out for that, guys. Well, thank you, Janelle. Yeah, it's great. I mean, did you guys watch Trump at Notre Dame yesterday? It was beautiful. The only thing that wasn't beautiful about it was the organ. The guy playing the organ, that was awful. Did that guy know how to play the organ? Oh, my wife's podcast on YouTube, Gucci MAGA. My wife has a YouTube channel she started up about a week ago, Gucci MAGA. It's my wife's podcast. Check it out, Gucci MAGA here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. My wife's channel is growing fast. It's like he's already president, yeah. Jill Biden was excited to see Trump. Jill did not just speak to Trump. She was joking around and laughing. And the thing about Jill, you know what that's about. Now, Ashley looked like she was stoned or drunk or something. She was out of it, Ashley Biden. But Jill, and since she's been running the country, it was almost like we had two presidents there. Jill was so excited to be with Trump. She is so excited that Kamala lost. They're pissed about the coup against Joe, and she voted for Trump, Jill Biden. That's why she wore red on Election Day. Jill actually looked good. I wouldn't go that far, and Ashley Biden's dress looked like a Michael Jackson outfit, that pattern she had on her dress. Jill Biden is, you can tell the Bidens are excited that Kamala lost. That's hilarious. It really is amazing. They're pissed. They should be pissed. Joe would have lost to Trump anyway, but they don't seem to mind. When I first saw Jill Biden there with Trump yesterday, I thought, you know, she must really be pissed because he's the center of attention. Everyone's coming up to him. He's got the best seat in the House. She's kind of off to the side. And then I saw her talking to Trump, and she was excited to be there with him. Mm-hmm. This is so freaking hot. Can you see the steam? Ugh. Yeah, that was a very, what they've done to the inside of Notre Dame is amazing. Although, have they not determined who started the fire or how the fire started? You know, I haven't seen any stories clearly defining how the fire started. I thought it was a terrorist attack on Notre Dame myself. 90% hate Kamala. Even the Democrats hate Kamala. Look at these donors coming out attacking her. Oh, we've never had a president-elect run the show like this. I mean, Trump is running America now already. It's already, you know, it's never happened before, but he's running the country. There's no doubt. Do you have any doubt in your mind Trump's running the country right now? I don't buy the electrical. In the roof, I don't buy it. He is running the country. And that's a great thing. The seating arrangement was done to honor Trump and America. Yep, running the world. And we're going to have a great 4 years. Enjoy it. Enjoy the next 4 years, people. Mm-hmm. Jill needs to seduce Mitch McConnell. She's got nothing to offer. She has no power or influence. She's out now. Out. Yeah, let me ask you guys, yes or no, do you think Kamala Harris will go to the inauguration of President Trump? I know the Bidens are going to be there. They can't wait. Joe might swear him in himself. He's so excited. But Kamala, how humiliating for her. No. See, Trump set a new standard last time around, so... Drunk maybe at noontime? Presidents get sworn in at noon? No. Isn't that something? Yeah, most people say no. You know, she couldn't come out and concede on election night. Who was that guy she had come out? Her lover? The guy that came out and conceded for Kamala just seemed a little too fresh with Kamala to me. Nothing could have helped Kamala. Coach, give me a break, Coach. You know, they were trying. You know, the thing with Tim Walz, they were trying to cast an everyday, average, Midwestern American white guy that people would connect to, and that's what they came up with. Tim Walz, this fake China spy, fake coach, whose wife enjoys listening to the smelling of the burning city during the BLM riots. I mean, it's amazing because Tim Walz is the stereotype that the radical lunatics in the Democrat Party think white people are. Yeah, stolen valor, everything else. Wasn't a very good creation. Failed miserably. But it'll be interesting to see if the stolen valor people are successful in bringing down Tim Walz, or is it over? Will he just have a career in Minnesota politics forever, or is this his last office he'll hold? I don't like the steamed milk at all. Well, first off, it makes the coffee too. I don't drink coffee for the taste. I really don't like coffee. I know half the people on YouTube, all they do is show videos of them making coffee, drinking coffee, pouring coffee. You know, like coffee, some type of, you know, I drink coffee just for the caffeine. That's why I have the espresso, 4 espressos in this cup. Prince William, I mean, what's with the beard? It was very weird to see William with the beard. I wouldn't recognize him. If he walked here, I might not recognize him with that beard. Well, what did the Chinese get for their money from Walls? I would imagine Tim Walls has a lot of explaining to do. He has not delivered for all that Chinese spy work. What has he delivered? Tim Walls is the Joy Reid black racist stereotype of your average Midwestern white guy. Oh, we'll call him Coach. That'll make people relate. Coach. Give me a break. Yeah, puts tampons in the boys' room. What a joke of a candidate. That's what they think the average white guy is. Tim Walls, out of shape, a spy. Crazy. Zelensky is just, you know, he was wearing his costume. Looks like an idiot. Yeah, the Zelensky, the party's over Zelensky. I don't know if you call this a hoodie. This is a zip-up jacket. It's got a hood on it, but, you know. I wore it because I drove my car. I was going to ride the MAGA scooter. So I put this on to ride the MAGA scooter, and I have to stop and pick some things up on the way home, and I didn't want to carry them on the scooter. Zelensky wears DeSantis booster shoes. He should, because he's so short. It's 56 degrees. $56 degrees this morning. The dictator outfit, yeah. Oh no, we'll miss Kamala like all the other vice presidents. They fade away. Nobody cares about vice presidents. Saddlebags on a Vespa? No. Zelensky is in his fake army uniform, you know, because he's fighting. His perfectly clean and pressed army uniform. He's so fake. You know, he's worn that so long, he'll probably wear that for the rest of his life. People wouldn't recognize him if he wasn't wearing that. His stupid sweater and boots. Wow. 39. If it's 39, I probably would not be sitting out here. I'd be either at home or in my car. I was surprised Trump took Trump Force One to France. I thought they might have him on a military plane, one of the Air Force Ones. They have a whole fleet of them. And I thought he would fly over on one of those for security reasons, but he took Trump Force One, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they got to see Trump Force One in France. Everybody on European TV with his big name on it. Trump Force One is much more impressive than Air Force One. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And now, because Trump's in his second term, the new Air Force One is going to be completed under his watch, which means we're going to get that beautiful new paint job, the red, white, and blue, as opposed to this blue and white on the new Air Force One. Oh, man. You know, Trump Force One is so beautiful. Air Force One looks like a commercial jet that flies 12 hours a day compared to Trump Force One. Trump Force One is beautiful. Now, if you're new to my channel, guys, make sure you subscribe. If you already subbed, like the video. And if you'd like to support my content, go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Kane at checkout. Huge savings, up to 80% off. Time to order for Christmas, and free shipping on all orders over $75 with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Well, you know, the proper place in the world is for the United States to be seated at the head of the table like Trump was at Notre Dame yesterday. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I mean, we are the leader of the world, at least the free world. And, You know, if it wasn't for the United States, the world wouldn't be free today. We're the oldest democracy. You know, when the founding fathers formed this great country, there were no democracies or presidents. They didn't know what a president was. It was run by kings, queens, emperors, and tribal chiefs. You know, I never liked this blue and white on Air Force One. The new Air Force One with the red, white, and blue with the flags. That's how it should be. Rocket 49 says I should get a radio job. That's a great idea. Oh man, it was so exciting to see him there. It would have been exciting to see him there in any capacity, but to have the most honored seat in the House just blew my mind. You know, I mean, it was Macron, because it's his country, Trump, and then Macron's wife. Did Ashley Biden look doped up to you guys? She did not look well. Oh, the whole country's MAGA. The whole country is MAGA, pretty much, more so than people realize. So many people have come out of the closet with their support and love of Trump. Oh, that light. Let me move my chair to block the light. You can see some palm trees back there as the sun comes up. Oh, yeah, it's much more MAGA than people realize. So many people have come out of the closet since the election. The world does know who's in charge, no doubt about that. Yeah, am I the only one that saw the Michael Jackson? That Michael Jackson, I don't know what you call that jacket or anything that he wore with that pattern. What did he wear that in? Which video was that in that he wore that? I couldn't remember. Well, the left have been intimidating people. They're afraid to share their love of Trump. I mean, you know, you guys see me on the weekends. I go to all these, I go to every Starbucks in town. We got a lot of Starbucks in my neighborhood on Saturday and Sundays for these live streams. And it's 99.9% positive. 53 in Tampa. Woo, a little too cold. 56 when I left the house this morning. Because people are not afraid anymore. That's exactly right. The fake media and, the Democrats, it's not just that they've intimidated people with all their cancel culture. The media have an overrepresentation of leftist in it, and people didn't realize how popular conservatism is. That's it, Yes, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. You'll love this channel, I promise you. This is the most pro-Donald Trump place you will find anywhere. That's right. Yeah, I'll have a new podcast with my wife this afternoon. Yeah, I got my palm trees trimmed this week, and mine are looking pretty good too in my house. I get so used to palm trees, but they're beautiful to have. So if you have, during hurricanes, the palm trees rarely fall. If you have native trees, Florida native trees, they typically don't fall during hurricanes. Trees that fall during hurricanes are the non-native trees. The media didn't even talk that Zelensky was there. Yeah, Zelensky is very entitled. He doesn't even ask anymore. He demands. He just expects and demands. He's very spoiled. Now, he's in for a shock when the boss is back January 20th. It was awesome. It was. I had to mute the TV during the organ. Whoever was playing the organ, I felt like they were punking everybody. But other than that, it was spectacular. Trump in power. It's really amazing, the power of the country. You saw these world leaders. They were, it's an interesting thing. if you were watching the Notre Dame ceremony, they would put the camera on people and keep it on them for a few seconds here and there. And how often did you not know who they were? And they're prime ministers and important political people in Europe, but who cares? Who cares? You know, in the United States, we don't really care who these leaders are in other countries. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was pretty cool, though. I mean, I thought it was with Macron, though. Macron went up and was talking about the history of Notre Dame, and he listed all these things that happened there. He left out Napoleon. Napoleon was coronated in there, put his crown on his head in there, remember? And I wonder why Macron left Napoleon out, because they love Napoleon in France. Well, when you live in Florida your whole life and it gets below 60, it's cold. That's just the way it is. Matt Gaetz is awesome. You know, it really is, you know, to see Trump there seated in the best seat in Notre Dame tells you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. I'd love to know, we'll never know, but I'd love to know the story behind that, how he got the best seat. I've lived in Florida since I was 11, so my Ohio days are long behind me. Oh yeah, it's beautiful out. It's going to be a nice day. Too bad I probably will not be able to get out and enjoy it. I got a lot to do at home. You know, we're having this this freeze. On Friday, our air conditioner broke, and we're really pissed about it. We got a brand new air conditioner in October, and it stopped running. And the repairman came out. It has a computer board in it that is needing of replacement, and they can't get one till the middle of the week. So luckily, we have this cold front in Florida. So if we didn't have the cold, I'm so pissed. I mean, we just, brand new air conditioner, brand new, and it was not cheap. I mean, this is the third air conditioner I bought for this house since we've lived in it over 20 years. And I couldn't believe how much this one was. And no, none of it works. Everything's computerized now. So one of the computer boards is broken. It doesn't run at all. No heat, nothing. But luckily we have a cold front. Made in China, who knows? I'm not going to say how much it cost, but it was not happy. Luckily it's under warranty. If it wasn't on Friday, I would get it. It's going to be fixed by the middle of the week, they told me. I had to order the part. But no, this was the most expensive air conditioner by far that I've ever purchased. I couldn't believe. Well, in Florida, you pretty much run the air probably 360 days a year. So to not have the air conditioner is, it's always something, right? I know. I was so pissed. I was so ready to have, and then I was so ready to have a weekend of relaxation. Then this happened, and then I was going to yesterday. I was going to go meet some friends in Fort Lauderdale and everything, and go stop by my mother's. But I was hoping they were going to come and replace the AC and give me a call, because they finally call me in the middle of the day. Oh, we can't get the part until the middle of the week. Well, my wife is on, a lot of you know my wife has a pretty serious illness. She's on a lot of medications that are vasodilators, which means it opens up her blood vessels, so it makes my wife very hot. So we have to, I live in a meat locker. We keep the air conditioner at about 69, 70 degrees year-round in the house. So if the cold front leaves and we get heat, she's either going to have to go stay at my mother-in-law's house, who lives down the street, or a hotel until we get it fixed. No, I didn't pay for a name. This is the Biden economy. I mean, it's just things are more expensive because everything's more expensive under Biden. You know, if my other AC was fried. So I had to get a new one, but things are just more expensive under Biden. That's the way it is. You know, I would have much rather, I was hoping I would get another year or two out of my old unit because I knew that they were expensive. And I told my father-in-law what it cost, and he couldn't believe it. He said, you got ripped off. And then he had to buy an air conditioning unit a couple weeks later, and he saw that what I paid is actually normal. Oh, this one's beyond fixing yourself. Oh well, it's life. Luckily, it's under warranty. And it broke during one of the coldest weekends of the year here in Florida. Boomers can't understand the cost of anything today? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Who's the boomer? I'm not a boomer. Kamala's a baby boomer. You know, Melania not going. I think Melania doesn't go to a lot of these things because I think she's pissed about the harassment of her family. You know? Should be. There's somebody else, you know, the world of should. What should be and what is are two different things. Sadly, we don't live in the world of should. I just think that Melania doesn't. I think she's pissed about the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, tossing her room and everything. And I think she, as friendly as Jill Biden is to Trump, I think Melania is rightly pissed off at Jill Biden and all these other jerks, and doesn't want to go to places where they're at. You know, would you, after what they've done? Cracks me up, okay? This guy. She doesn't, yeah. This guy that just pulled up, he pulls in front of the space, right in front of the door that he's going in and coming out of in 2 minutes, right? With his coffee. He's got a piece of crap car, and he puts the alarm on. Out of all the cars out here, someone's going to break in, rob, or steal it when it's right in front of the door of the business. And out of all the ones out here, the piece of crap car is the one they're going to break into. Cracks me up. The average home price in Florida, I have no idea. I bought my house so long ago, thankfully so. You know, they said that there's going to be a housing crisis in Florida, that there's going to be like an economic housing crisis. I bought my house so long ago, no matter how far it goes down, I'm still ahead. I've been through these before. Yeah, out of a coconut tree. Mid to high 300s, depends on where you're at. I mean, my house is worth more than 2 times what I paid for it. Well over 2 times what I paid for it. But if you sell, you got to move somewhere, you know. So I may live in my house that I live in now till I die and leave it to my daughter. or go to a retirement home one day. I don't know. The homeowner's insurance is really high. Everybody talks about what a great governor DeSantis is. Homeowner's insurance is so high. I mean, it's insane, and he hasn't even addressed it. Yeah, but right here's the beach, right? You can have your cleared land with nothing on it, but right there's the beach. And I don't even need this jacket. The weather's perfect. I only wore the jacket because I was going to bring my Vespa, and then I changed my mind at the last minute. So you pay for where you're living. And Florida is the best state to live in. Florida is the best state by far to live in. We've got the best weather. We don't have a state income tax. It's just the best state. And the beach is right here. Well, let me see. Right there. Oh my goodness. So you pay, what is it? Location. Right? That's it. I don't really follow the real estate prices. Like I said, bought my house over 20 years ago. I've been through these housing crises a couple of times since I've had the house. We'll go through more before I die. In Florida, the police don't ride around scanning cars, then wait for people to come out and bust them? Really? Where do they do that? That sounds pretty strange. No, Florida's the best state by far. No doubt about it. It really burns me when people say that Florida's great because of DeSantis. Florida's always been great. DeSantis didn't do anything particular to make Florida any better. Florida has always been like this. But the reason is, I talked. There's a lot of these people that have moved to Florida that have platforms like Mark Levin, Bongino, and a lot of people like this that are like, and there's a lot of others too that are like, famous influencer type people. And they come to Florida from New York or wherever they come from, and the freedom here blows them away, and they think DeSantis did this. It's always been like this in Florida. So I don't know what they're talking about. And it's just, they all think they're Ponce de Leon, like they discovered something. Now, Florida's always been like this. Jeb Bush was great governor. He was governor for 8 years. He was when Jeb Bush became governor in 1998, the whole state turned Republican. He turned the whole state Republican, and we've been Republican since 98. But after he became governor, he got really weird and changed. He used to be a nice guy. And then when the 2016 campaign came up, he thought he was the heir to the nomination, and he went out humiliated, and he's lost his mind. Yeah, I made a good YouTube video in front of Rush's house right after he passed. There's taxes on groceries? What are you talking about? Property taxes are local. I mean, that's what, property taxes aren't bad in Florida. It's the insurance that's killing people. Well, awesome. I love Florida. I would never want to live in another state other than Florida. But it's like Dave Rubin. He moves to Florida and he thinks Ron DeSantis made this. Ron DeSantis, for the most part, has been a very good governor. Don't get me wrong. But he gets credit for doing things that he didn't do in Florida. It's just all these people like Dave Rubin or Ben Shapiro come here And they're like, "Wow, it's so free." And I've seen this. Sometimes I went out to dinner a couple years ago, right after the lockdowns and everything was over, with some friends, and they brought a friend of theirs who had just moved here from Washington State. He had just moved to Florida, and he was just blown away by all the freedom in Florida, which I guess I kind of don't even realize because I lived here all my life. And I came to realize when you live in a lot of these blue states or blue cities, he was from the Seattle area, it's like you're living in East Berlin or Moscow during the 50s or 60s or something. And they come to Florida and they're like, it's like paradise. I get it. We have the great weather, we got the beaches, and it's a Republican state. So that's an awesome thing. So, but too many people who come into Florida. Sadly, I don't I work too much to travel. I don't travel. My wife can't travel, so I take our cruise every year. And I am going out in a few weeks to visit my daughter in Los Angeles. I'll have to take a couple days off work for that, but I'll live stream because my daughter will not be getting up. I'm not gonna be there long enough to switch time zones, so I'll still be up early and I'll live stream when I'm in Los Angeles while my daughter's sleeping. The no-see-em bugs now. I've got the screen on my back porch is a no-see-em bug impenetrable screen. Oh, the cruise is a lot of fun. I love the cruise. It's just a lot. The people that come on the cruise, on our cruise every year, are nice people. I know you hear some of these weirdos that call me. None of those lunatics go in our group. And it's a private group, so we can limit who we let in the group. I don't know if I'm going to go to San Diego this time, but in one of my future trips, when it's a better time of year, I might, like maybe during the summer. Richie's been on a few of them, but he's not going to be on this one. I might fly to San Diego and meet my daughter there, maybe during the summer when the weather's better. Oh, the Keys are awesome. The Florida Keys are beautiful. Oh, yeah. But anyway, back to what happened at Notre Dame yesterday, It was just beautiful to see America back on top of the world. I just hate when I see Biden go to these, G20s and all this stuff, and he's in the back. There was one event, was it at the UN, where Biden was just sitting like in the middle of what the hell? The President of the United States is front and center, and should be. Not in the back row. It's disrespectful, and it throws the balance of the world out of whack. It just does. And to have Trump front and center by invite tells you everything you need to know. The boss is back. And don't let these Democrats tell you that tariffs are a bad thing, these import taxes. Why do you think they're kissing Trump's ass so much? It's because of the tariffs. Yeah. Yep, Doge. That really has them freaked out. Doge. That really has them really worried. I cannot wait for Elon to start releasing what they're wasting money on. I read an article this morning before I came here that 94% of federal workers don't report to work regularly. They're working. I didn't realize that many were still working at home. That would, I'm hoping Trump orders federal workers, like when he comes in, orders all federal workers back to work in person by, like, say, Monday. And if you don't show up, you're fired. That would reduce the federal workforce by, these federal workers are very arrogant. They think they run the government. They got their Federal Workers Employment Union and all of that. That would cut down the size of government like instantly, because I think a lot of them would say, who does he think he is ordering us back to work? I'm still going to work at home. And who knows if they're even working at home, right? Oh, that would be a beautiful thing. I mean, what excuse do they have, just 94% of federal workers, to be working at home? How do you even know they're working, right? Exactly. Can you hear that guy hacking? He's about 60, 70 feet away from me. I don't know if you can hear him hacking. I mean, he's he is a homeless person. Now, yeah, I've been on my weekend live streams. I've been, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been rotating where I go on my weekend live streams. And the reason I was doing that is for a few weeks I was live streaming from the normal Starbucks that I usually go to during the week for my coffee and stuff. And I was building up a crowd of people that were coming to watch me live stream, and there were people watching on YouTube and things showing up, and they wouldn't come up to me until after the stream was over. And I didn't think it was smart to be live streaming in an open air place like that, where people are just randomly showing up when I'm done streaming like that all the time. With some of the stalkers and things that I have. The homeless come to Florida with the birds. You know, it's winter time, so the birds and the homeless come together. But I have so many Starbucks in my neighborhood. The one I usually go to, I like. It's got a drive. This one doesn't have a drive-through. Am I schizophrenic? No. But when you're in the business I'm in, and people are randomly showing up while you're live streaming and everything, and they don't come up to you till after the stream, and it starts happening all the time, you're probably in the same place too much, you know. But in Florida, there's a Starbucks every 10 feet. We have more Starbucks than Walmart's probably. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video if you don't mind. And if you'd like to support my content by becoming a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description. You know, if you're a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes with my wife. And you get the podcast a little early too, but you get all the podcasts commercial-free if you're a Patreon supporter. So, and there's a link to my Patreon page in the description of this and every video. So if you'd like to do that, I'd appreciate it. Or become a member here on YouTube. It all helps. Yeah, the weather's beautiful. I do not need this jacket. If I didn't have to stop off at the store, I would have brought the Vespa for sure, the MAGA scooter. Yes. Am I the only one that gets goosebumps every time you say out loud Trump is president again? It's crazy. It really is crazy, isn't it? I mean, everything that he went through, it's an absolute miracle. It's so exciting, isn't it? I mean, it's just so exciting. Everything we've gone through the last 4 years, and these last 4 years have been really rough for the Trump family. And for him to get reelected to 2 non-consecutive terms. It's amazing. I get goosebumps constantly every time I say it. It's hard to believe. I was watching him yesterday, and I imagine these leaders in Europe must be like, WTF, how the freak did this happen? You know? They don't understand our system like we don't know their system too well. And they're like, how did this happen? If by a terrible person you mean a perfect, brilliant, kind, generous person who loves America and puts America first, you are correct. Well, look at what he's doing without even being in office now, right? Look at how much Trump's accomplished already. Imagine what he'll do when he's actually, after he's taken the oath. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's amazing. Amazing beyond measure. A true miracle. And all of us MAGA people who stood by Trump all this time, we did, you know, and remember when Trump's first term was over, they were pushing him so hard to start a third party, a MAGA party, and Trump says no. He said, I'm going to retake the Republican Party and make it a true America First conservative party again. And they laughed at him. And look, he did it. He totally did it. They thought it was impossible. I mean, there's some holdouts left, like Joni Ernst and all that, but it's Trump's MAGA party, no doubt about it. I mean, these people like Joni Ernst. Joni Ernst has done us a favor, because I don't think most of us knew what a fake Republican she was. Did you see my live stream yesterday morning on, if you haven't, when I'm done, go and watch it on Joni Ernst. I mean, she's like AOC leftist. I'm really shocked. Republican in name only is a mild descriptor for Joni Ernst. I'm in shock, praising George Floyd, transgendered in the military, praising Zelensky and all this. I'm in shock. So she outed herself. Whoever put her up to it screwed her over. Whoever put her up to opposing Pete Hegseth was not doing any favors to Joni Ernst. Oh, I'm sure she's always been this way, but I don't think most MAGA people knew how I mean, she's like the worst. I don't think most people knew at all. Because she's got a military background, you know, people, I think, overlook a lot of things. Yeah, she's done. Joni Ernst is done. She's Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis done. Mm-hmm. Joni's a nobody trying to make a name for herself. Well, she picked the wrong hill to stand on. If she wanted to make a name for herself, she should have been on the MAGA hill, not on this Jeb Bush, George Bush, Liz Cheney. I mean, here praising Liz Cheney. She's worse. Joni Ernst is worse than Murkowski. Yeah, remember, you know what Vivek says? You want to be a rebel? You want to stick it to the man? You want to be a hippie? Go MAGA, right? That's what Vivek says. I love it. I like how David Hogg is trying to become the head of the DNC. I hope they make David Hogg the head of the DNC. I hope so. Oh, that's great. Make David Hogg the head of the DNC and run AOC for president. That's spectacular. Oh, yeah, beautiful. They've got the Democrat Party they have no leader, and they have no bench of up-and-coming people like we do. We've got just a long list of great people coming up. They got nothing and nobody. Yeah, MAGA hippie. That's right. I love it when Vivek says that. You want to be a rebel? You want to stick it to the man? You want to be a hippie? Go MAGA. Vote Trump. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. And you know, when Elon and Vivek went to the Capitol and met with congressmen, they were blown away at how prepared Vivek Ramaswamy was. That he had, I mean, he's already got a whole list of crap. They were shocked. You know, the Pentagon and the federal government do their own audits all the time. Total BS. They're going to get a real one this time. You know, everyone always talks about auditing the Fed. If I could audit the Fed or the federal government, let's audit the federal government. You know, this is the first time they've probably ever really, truly been audited. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Stick it to the man. Yeah, I love it. Americans are not being left behind. We're back, baby. We were being left behind. They were replacing us with people from other countries from our southern border. The speed of government, yeah. I remember when Biden was vice president, he was working on some committee. He was vice president. He was working on this congressional committee organized by Obama. And I can't remember what the committee was for. And Joe Biden says, we're working full-time around the clock 3 days a week. You remember this? And to Biden, that made sense. Full-time is 3 days a week. Joni Ernst has done permanent damage to herself. Is she up in 2 years or 4 years? Does anyone know? When is she up again? 2 or 4 years? You know, senators, they feel they get very arrogant because they're only up every 6 years. 2 years. They figure if they do something really out of character, it'll be forgotten. This will not be forgotten. It's either going to come in 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, this will not be forgotten. If Pete Hegseth doesn't get in as Defense Secretary, it's all going to be blamed on Joni Ernst. Yeah. Now, I don't know who we have to run against her there. I don't know. But this will not, if Pete Hegseth gets in and she doesn't make any more mistakes, it may be forgotten. But if he doesn't get in, it will not be forgotten. She's going to take all the blame. And you know what? She deserves all the blame. Oh, yeah. Well, listen, guys. I'm going to head home. I got a lot of work to do. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you next time. Take care.